Ever seen the guy who drives like a maniac in a ridiculous big car? The guy with the powerful dad, the big house. Well, I'm that guy. Binoy Roy. I'm not flashy, but I have a big car and a big house. And there is no hiding that. But yes, I do not look rich. I stand 5 feet and 10 inches and looks like someone who would miss on a busy road. Weight is slim, short, neat hair. That is my matrimonial ad look like often. I have heard people say he does not look that rich. I do not blame them. I was never impressed by what I used to see in the mirror either. Well, it was another morning for me. I was in no hurry again. Life was awesome. I did not have to worry about the early morning lectures, outing professor, or pending assignments. My head did not hurt, even though I was sure I got lost the night before. Since I was on the couch and not on my bed, where I should have been, I was still in the clothes I wore last night to the club. I must have passed out, I thought. These nights of excessive drinking, blackouts, and bad hangover were becoming my routine. This is the last time I'm drinking, I said to myself. I was lying. I tried to remember why I had not gone up to my bedroom and slept. But I really could not. I tried to recall the girl I had danced with the previous night. But I could not remember that clearly either. I remember the name though, Palak. I smiled, she was pretty. And Dave had introduced me to her. As I heated the coffee and poured it into the cup, my phone rang. It was Isan. He asked me this same question that he did every day. Was I going to college that day? No, I was not. I did not have a hangover, but I did not want to spoil that day sitting on those broken benches and beneath the cranky fans. Moreover, 3 back-to-back lectures was not my thing. Just as I switched on the television, the door was flung wide open. It was a maid. I looked at her and she smiled. She had the newspaper in her hand. She kept it on the table and she smiled back. Though the house was pretty big, I lived alone, so never had much work for her to do. Binoy, what is in the sink? She asked, disgusted. What? I asked as I entered in the kitchen. Come and see for yourself. She had covered her face with her pallu. I walked up to the sink and a pungent smell hit my nose. I looked at it and it almost made me puke. It was filthy and it smelled worse than a dead rat. Damn it. Babu, you drank too much last night, she said, in her muzzled tone from beneath the pallu. I guess so. I asked her to go and shop for the vegetables. I told her I would take care of it by the time she came back. She grabbed the shopping bag and left the house as soon as possible. I stood there for a while, disgusted at what I had done. This was new. I was to black out, but I never used to puke. The drain pipe was blocked and I thought, why don't they just make bigger drain pipes? Because people are meant to puke in toilet, dumbass, a voice in my head said. I did not waste any more time. I wrapped a handkerchief around my face and got to work with a plunger. And that day, newspaper in my hand. 15 stinking minutes later, the sink sparkled and I stank. I'm never drinking again, definitely, I said to myself as I entered the shower. I loved the shower area. It was the second best place after the gym. I had to set up a couple of months back. It cost me, well, I do not know how much, but for my father paid for it. All I knew is that I loved it. Meanwhile, the maid was back and she had started to cook. Auntie, a little less oil, I shouted out as I come down the stairs. Babu, where will you get this strength? And stop drinking too much, Babu. It's not good for you, she shouted back. Just as I flopped on the couch, the doorbell rang again. Who is it? I shouted from where I was sitting. The door was being banged now, harder. Fine. Dave, I exclaimed. Debasis was my older cousin brother. 5 years older to me. He had just turned 25 the day before, and it was his party last night. Last drinking night ever. Fuck you, Binoy, he said, and he looked pissed. Where have you been? I have been calling you since the last 20 minutes. Anyway, where is Palak? Palak? Binoy, I don't have time for this. Her mom is calling me since the morning. She's freaking out. Where is she? I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. What? You left with her last night. Don't you fucking remember? He started looking everywhere and I followed him around. He was clearly freaking out and out of his goddamn mind. No, I do not, I insisted. Did you guys come home? You said you would drop to her friend's place. Dave's phone constantly rang. I don't remember, Dave. All I remember is that we were there in the club and you guys were there too, and I woke up in this couch. That's it. You were on the couch. Then where the hell she is? He demanded and sprinted up the stairs. I still had no clue as to what was happening. Palak, he shouted out and entered the bedroom. As I followed him into my bedroom and tried to remember the sequences from last night, I saw him bent over an unconscious girl who laid on the side of my bed. Palak, we both helped her to sit up on the bed. She was still falling all over us and she stank of beer. Palak looked up, still not in her senses. Palak, wake up, Dev said. Your mom called me. She wants to know where you are. Where is your phone? Dev kept repeating these sentences. Binoy, don't just stand there. Get her some water. Fine, I said and I sprinted downstairs. As I come back upstairs, I saw Palak mumble something. I was in a state of mind shock. I really had not expected this, even from myself. I had no memory of getting a girl home. It was not really the first time though, but usually I remember. Where is my phone? What did mom say? Is she angry? Does he know? Did he call? She asked a million questions. I tried to avoid her gaze, and as I looked for a room freshener, she stank. She was freaking out, and she held her hand. I stood there wondering whether it was in regret or was it in the hangover. I wanted to ask her, but I thought it would be better to let Dev handle it. He had been in a relationship for over 5 years now. He had experience in handling crying females better than me. Relax, Palak, don't cry. I told your mom that you were with Avantika, and you were fine. You really don't remember where your phone is? He asked her. She shook her hand and tears streamed down her cheeks in full flow. Thank God for Dev. Okay, just go wash your face and then I will drop you home, Dev said to her, and she left. Binoy, are you crazy? Dev almost shouted. What, Dada? She is your friend, not mine. I can't help it if she is crazy. She is not supposed to be here. You got her here. You are the one who is crazy, not her. And what would I say to Avantika? You have screwed me, man. Why are you so afraid of Avantika? I asked. I'm not. I just like not to screw up things with her, Deb said. Whatever, I'm sorry, I said. Do you want me to drop her home? No, I will do it. Anyway, how is your hangover? Better, he asked, concerned. I nod. He was my brother after all. He even looked like me. He was just a shade shorter than I was, but he never agreed on that. We weren't best looking people in the world, but we had something common, a dimple, a facial deformity, and it was probably the only good thing about us. Lately we were working out together to get ourselves a perfect set of abs, but till then we were sexually very unappealing. Can we go? Palak gulped as she stood at the bedroom door, still crying softly. Sure. She was yet to exchange a single word with me or establish eye contact with me. Deb helped her down the stairs. I looked at her surprised. Bye, Palak, I said as these two were leaving through the door. She did not say anything, just looked at me and gave me a half-hearted smile. I'm fine, Palak told Deb as they got inside Deb's car. I'm going to talk to you later about this, Binoy. All this nonsense has to stop, Deb said as he opened his car door. This is the last time I'm going to help with you with your crosses. We shook hands and he said, and one more thing, Binoy, go to the kitchen or somewhere. She just said she puked in your house last night and she's sorry about it. Fucker, cross, bullshit. Well, at least I could drink again. Later, I found her cell phone in the kitchen. I